Do you know what's weird? I genuinely think that most of my life, I thought that confidence was something that other women had. And I think I first noticed it in high school. I just felt kind of separated from the confident popular girls, the ones that could walk into the room and instantly become the center of it without even trying. The girls that everybody wanted around, even me. The girls who somehow always ended up in the front seat on the way to wherever everybody was going. And I think I figured it was just something they inherited, whether it was wealth or their family's success. They didn't really have to try to have this life of popularity and confidence. They were just born to it. Like God was casting a movie and there was people who were the main characters, and then there were people like me who were the supporting characters. And honestly, I loved those girls. I really did. I wasn't jealous and bitter. I was fascinated by them. But I always remember feeling like I was standing slightly to the side of life instead of fully in it. Like I was important to people, but kind of in a supporting role kind of way. I was the person that you called when your life was falling apart at 2 a.m. I was incredibly dependable, genuine, warm, empathetic. If I got invited to your birthday party, you were going to get the best gift from me. But I was going to be a wallflower at the party because I just didn't have that kind of shiny personality. I would be like the mother of the party and not drink just to make sure everybody was safe. Or you might find me in the kitchen doing the dishes, being helpful. My mom used to call us the worker bees. And I know they're structurally the important ones, but I did always dream to be the funny, carefree, popular girl. But I felt like, without even having the words for it, I was just born to be the supporting character in the lives of all the people that were out there really living. And then I'd end up sitting on the sidelines just waiting for breadcrumbs of friendships and relationships and waiting to be needed. And honestly, I think some of us became this way so young that we didn't even notice it, especially if you grew up around really stressed adults. You kind of grew up reading the room without realizing you were reading the room. It wasn't because I had shitty parents. Like, I had wonderful parents, but I also had stressed, overwhelmed parents. And you learn how to stay ahead of tension as a young child. And I learned how to smooth things over. And I learned how to make myself easy to be around. And after enough years of doing that, you don't really notice that you stopped yourself asking what you want or what you feel because you're so busy managing how everybody else feels. In fact, you thrive at it. And I had this moment a few years ago at the Goodwill that really stuck out at me for some reason. And I think I already had some guilt associated with getting rid of things at the Goodwill because my parents grew up without, and so they always felt like getting rid of things was shameful, it was wasteful. And I just remember having some anxiety already as I pulled up to the Goodwill truck. I already went into this situation kind of feeling like I was doing something wrong. And as I pulled my stuff out of the back of my car, one of my bags ripped open and my stuff went everywhere. And the guy working was visibly irritated, like he was kind of a jerk. And I just remember getting really flustered. And I was apologizing, saying, I'm sorry, I should have put these in boxes. And I was like picking everything up super fast and like trying to make the interaction easier for him. And I felt basically embarrassed for existing. And then behind me, this woman pulls up in this nice, clean car, and I could instantly tell that she was one of those popular girls from high school, only she was about 20 years older than me. And her energy was completely different than mine. She got out of her nice, clean car in her well-put-together clothes, and the man was just as crabby with her as she handed him her garbage bag full of things. But she was happy and kind and confident, and she just had that kind of energy that I always wished I had. I was instantly drawn to her. I wanted to be her. I didn't want to feel like a kid doing the wrong thing in the messy car with a ripped bag apologizing. And I had no idea at the time, but the only difference between us was that she didn't go into this situation reading the room. She didn't feel any shame for getting rid of some things because that's literally what the Goodwill is for. It's a place where you get rid of your old things. And she didn't pay any attention or read the attendant's mood. She didn't care that he was crabby. He's a stranger. Why should she care? She didn't hurry. She didn't second guess herself. She didn't feel like an inconvenience, even though that attendant really kind of strived to make everyone feel like an inconvenience. And honestly, it took me years of therapy to realize that I would read the emotional landscape of everywhere I walked into, and then I would accommodate accordingly, which is another way of saying, always make yourself small. And I think we mistake that for a lack of confidence, and it's really not. Because before all my therapy, I actually wasn't a supporting character at all. And if you looked at my life from the outside, people would have called me confident the whole time. I raised 3 boys mostly on my own after my marriage fell apart. I built a career out of nowhere when I had no choice. I've held everything together for years as a single woman, and I've handled huge emergencies all by myself. I can handle pressure, I can handle responsibility, but for years internally, I still felt like the supporting character in everybody else's story. And I think that's why this realization at the Goodwill hit me so hard. I've always been brave and I've always been competent, and you would think that those things make you confident. But what actually makes you confident is learning to listen to your own voice first, learning to have the checks and balances on your resources, your time, your energy, your emotions. Because once you figure that out, it's kind of a whole new life.